Today I wanted to tell you about growing tomatoes on our driveway. So we're really blessed in one way in that we have a lot of trees on our small suburban lot, and that's great. We love the trees 99.99% of the time. But one thing that trees and shade are not good for is growing tomatoes. So we got these tomatoes that you can see behind me. Originally I was planning to put them in a raised garden bed that I was waiting to get delivered to the house. So I sort of stuck them in some pots while I was waiting for the raised garden bed to arrive, and we'll have a separate video about that. But meanwhile, I just kind of stuck them on the driveway in these pots, some smaller pots, and just sort of waited and watered them and tried to nurse them back to health because they were kind of in bad shape when I got them from the nursery. It was sort of late to be planting tomatoes, and so I got these scraggly little cherry and grape tomatoes from the garden center. There's like the last four left, and so I stuck them in some little tiny pots and just waited for the garden beds to arrive. And meanwhile, they were growing, and so I decided to put them in bigger pots and ended up getting these pots. And they kept growing, and so finally I just decided to leave them here on the driveway. And this is actually the sunniest spot on our whole property. And you know, tomatoes love sun, so I left them there, and they've grown and they're producing. And I don't know if you can see all the little clusters of tomatoes that they're producing, but there are plenty of them. And failing any kind of natural disaster, I'm going to be collecting a lot of tomatoes from these little 4 plants. And I've already collected some, but I think the big crop's coming very soon, and I've got to pick some of these today before they get any redder and the squirrels come and steal them away from me. I have read if you plant near your cars that you should watch for exhaust. You don't want a lot of exhaust getting on your plants for obvious reasons. So fortunately we don't have that problem here, so I think we're good there. And as far as, so those are cherry and grape tomatoes. Then I found this little patio tomato plant at the garden center, at the hardware store, and it doesn't produce a lot of tomatoes, but it produces some, and it grows really well in this little container that I used to have a pencil holly in, and it's right by our garage. And this is another sunny spot, so I thought, why don't I just stick it here and it'll get some sun. If I put it in the backyard, it won't get any sun. In that raised garden bed, it's not the sunniest spot. So that's worked out pretty well, and we've gotten a few ripe tomatoes off of this, but I'm hoping, I should probably planted some more of these because these don't produce just a ton of tomatoes any one time, so we still have to buy tomatoes this summer. But anyway, this has been an interesting experiment growing tomatoes on the driveway, and I would say it's successful. Go where the sun is. Unless you're going to chop down some trees, then this has worked out pretty well. That's my story for now with growing tomatoes on the driveway. See you soon.